Can we shut down here? Oh, wow. Okay. Welcome to my live stream. My name's Nicole, and apparently I was live for like 36 seconds and it was silent. All right, awesome. Um, I'm coming at you from a remote location here, and this week's Ask Nicole live stream is all about short form video. So again, my name's Nicole, coming at you from Northern Maine, visiting my family because, that's what life's about, being able to go and do that sort of thing. And I'm coming at you from my mom's craft room. And my dog might start barking because my sister's coming over. Yep, this is life, folks. So I want to talk about short form video content today because I think it's something as small business owners we have to think more about because in case you're not an internet nerd like I am, one of the higher ups at Instagram last week announced that they're moving away from considering themselves a photo sharing platform to a more video sharing sort of commercial platform. And so what that means for those of us who do marketing for our business on social media is that short form video is going to be prioritized in terms of content, in terms of types of content in the news feed. And I don't know about you, but I know how to do these kind of broadcasts because I'm used to giving workshops and stuff. But when I started thinking about short form video, I was feeling a little intimidated by the process. Like, what do I do? What ideas would I come up with for short form video? And so I thought this broadcast would be useful. The problem was I was coming up with a lot of ideas. So I'm going to make this a 2-part series. So this is part 1 that you're watching, and part 2 will be next week. So you'll have 5 ideas this week and 5 ideas next week on how to do short form video for your small business. So I have examples of all of these, some of which I did and some of which I haven't done yet. So I'm excited for that. And so thanks so much for attending. Again, my name is Nicole. This is an Ask Nicole weekly stream. So if you have any kind of topics about marketing or stuff you want to learn more about, feel free to reach out. I'm always looking for ideas. Without further ado, let's talk about short form video. First of all, this is a text or blog. So let's say that you have some text that you produced. Whether it's a PDF for a blog or something like that, and you want to turn it into a video. Well, apparently there's software that will do that. And this is called Lumen 5. And what I thought I'd do is do a quick demo of how it works because it's kind of interesting. They have this feature called instant videos. And so, let me just show you and you'll see what I mean. So first of all, there's a free trial. Fine. And if you want to upgrade, I think it gets rid of the Lumen branding and lets you do more videos and stuff like that. But there's this thing called instant videos. So if you look to the left side of the screen, so you make a free lumen5.com account. And then you, to make an instant video, you have to pull in what's called an RSS feed. If you don't know what RSS feeds are and you're watching this, scroll back about 2 months worth of broadcasts. And I did a broadcast with James Nobles about RSS feeds, probably late April, early May. I'm starting to finally keep track of like when these things happen so that I can actually mention specific dates going forward. But you can learn about RSS feeds there. But the main thing is that if your website runs off of some kind of database, you probably have an RSS feed. If you use WordPress, you definitely have an RSS feed. So what WordPress does by default is it takes your blog posts and puts them in a feed. So all of these are posts. But what I can also do is I can add pages to my RSS feed. There's a WordPress plugin that does that. So what it does is I would just click Manage Feeds, and any website that had a data feed, I could pull in to create an instant video. So I'm trying to think of one I haven't pulled in yet. Have I pulled Breaking? Oh, I haven't pulled in Breaking Even yet. I think I was saving it for this. Should pick up the data feed. Maybe I have to put feed in. We'll see. So it's just looking for that feed right now, and it's pulling it in. And like I said, it will pull in blog posts unless you basically tell it to otherwise. In the back end of your WordPress site. If you have a website that you're not sure if it has an RSS feed, there's RSS feed checkers. Anyway, like I said, there's a whole video about RSS feeds if you want to get into it. Point being is that it takes these blog posts or anything from your feed and it pulls it in and takes the text from that and creates an instant video. And I'm apparently on a slow internet connection, so this is not doing it right now. So it's pulling that in. And what it'll do is when I'll go back to the instant videos tab, it will pull in, like I said, the latest few posts from your feed. And what I did before this whole thing started was I created a default video and I can, so I created this default video here off of this coffee shop and anchor space compared. So let's say that I wanted to, I'll pick that one again. It might be like, hey, you've already done one. But so what it does is it, like I said, it pulls in the text. And based on that text, it also finds visuals that it thinks will go in your thing. And then it says, okay, well, what template do you want to use? And template is just obvious. This first one looks just like my anchor space branding in terms it's got the navy and the teal. This is like my exact anchor space branding, and that it just came with the template, right? I did not set that up, but there's tons here. So like this looks more like and then I pick the size video I want. Maybe I'll pick a square 1-to-1 aspect ratio. And so what it's doing right now is it's pulling in that blog post, it's pulling in that template, and it's creating a video. Now, what we do in this next step, obviously, if it's pulling in your exact text, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty conversational, obviously, if you've watched my videos. So this is the text. If we look at the kind of left sidebar here, you see the text here is coffee shop anchor space compared. This is a blog post I wrote like 5 years ago. Right. So it's pulling this in, and what it's doing on this side is it's creating some slides, and it's, so it's saying this one is going to be 3 seconds, show for 3 seconds. This one's going to show, so it's pulling them all in now. Look, see, it's automatically making this. Now, as you see here, I can, if I want to, I can actually edit the text that appears. If I don't like it, I can edit it. I can delete the whole thing entirely. I can decide I want a different design. If I want to, like, let's say that I wanted like a little video in the background, it will, if I click on media, since it knows that this is about coffee shops and stuff, like you'll see that there's lots of stuff of like people. So this looks like a premium one, but so so I could put that in on here and put that in the background. So so it's pretty straightforward. And like I said, you would go through and sort of adjust things as you wanted to in terms of content, in terms of like options. And then the very last screen is what's called the outro. So, which is the thing that shows at the end, right? Like it's usually like got the branding in it. Where's that? I clicked on out. There we go. So I would upload maybe my logo, and I would put like, reserve today or something like that. And point being, so I did this, and I decided actually to run an experiment. So this was my experiment. Now, what's handy is that I happen to run, I happen to run 2 co-working spaces, and they're in similar sized markets. So it's a similar business. It's in a similar rural market. They have similar sized audiences. So they're really great to experiment on. So if you follow one of my co-working spaces and you're wondering, why am I seeing this? Maybe sometimes I'm playing a little bit of doing a little bit of an experiment. So what I did here is I basically posted the same content, one being a video. So for Anchor Space Bar Harbor, I made, oh, there it goes. I made an anchor space. Like, so this is as you probably recognize the template, right? So there's the video I quote unquote made, that was made for me. As you see, it's 38 seconds long, and 16 people reached 0 engagements. So it said the same thing. And then to the other co-working space page, I just posted an image saying the same thing. So, and this one had 71 reached 1 engagement. So more people engaged with this than engaged with the video. Now, I did forget with the video to put the link, so I'll have to double check that was the problem. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that video is generally more engaging, but in this experiment, we see that it actually wasn't. And so the question, so you have to do like the experiments, I guess, for yourself. You can't necessarily, say, okay, since this is true most of the time, it's going to be true for me. So it's important that we try some stuff out. So like I said, I tried posting, basically it's the same content as a video. And it just didn't get as much engagement, which is fine. I will have to experiment a little further to say if that's always going to be the case. Don't think it is, but point being is that you can take your text or your blog and you can turn it into a video. Now, as you saw, I don't know if you saw, one of the things I could do was I could have recorded a voiceover to go with the video, or I could have picked some kind of, royalty-free type music to go in the background of the video, or I could just have had no sound at all. 90% of videos are watched with the sound off, fun fact. So it's nice to at least put on captions, not just to be accessible, but because even if someone could watch and listen to your video. They might choose not to because there's someplace they can't listen, something like that. I can't tell you how many videos I've watched with captions and being about like 10 minutes in, realizing that I didn't have the sound on. So so that's short form video one. Take some content you already have written, make it into a video and share it. And you'll probably engage with different people than that. So I'm guessing that people watch that video who wouldn't have read the blog post. That's what I'm guessing. So that's one way to make a short form video, 38 seconds. And I did some of the work, but it did most of the work, Lumen 5. So that's one short form video format. Another short-term video format is sort of what I call the business introduction. And, this is like kind of getting to know the business, what it's all about, that kind of thing. And I haven't done one of these yet. I really want to do one. But what I thought I would do is just show an example of somebody I follow on TikTok or an intro video I found on TikTok that I thought was pretty good. So let's check it out.
My name is Michelle and I run a subscription box business in Australia for female entrepreneurs. Our box is all about upskilling female business owners on how to grow their business. So each month we include a personal or business development book as well as 4 to 5 products to help you run your business. We also have a digital component too, an online learning hub full of courses, guides and exclusive invitations to masterclasses run by experts in their fields. Each month we tackle a different theme, so each month we are sourcing new books, products, courses and more. And while it can get stressful, I know that it's so worth it to help my fellow business owners learn new skills in order to grow their business.
So as you see here, we now know about this, business founder who has a subscription box from women business owners. And we got a really good idea of, who she serves, why she does it, who her audience is, what the benefits of the products are, all within less than a minute. And I picked that business because you don't need to have a storefront. You don't need to have a lot of staff or customers. There's ways to do these intro videos without having to, have a fancy setting or whatever. People just want to see like a snapshot about what you do, what your business or nonprofit does, in a succinct way. And these intro videos, and if you want to see more of them, I think like the hashtag small business check or small business TikTok or something like that will give you some more examples. But yeah, like I said, I was looking for one that wasn't like, oh, we run, we have a particular location or whatever, like a big business. I wanted to pick kind of a smaller business. Obviously, if you have more options, to shoot from, if you have a location, if you have staff, if you have things like that, it just gives you more content for your video. But you see how, subscription box. So her packing it, her stocking the bookshelf, her showing what is going in the box. It doesn't have to be super fancy. So intro video is a great way for people to get to know your business in a succinct way without them having to consume a lot of content. And if they like you, obviously they'll keep in touch with you and they might become a customer as well. So short form intro videos is something that is on my bucket list to do for sure. Especially when I'm back in my more normal office environment. A third short form video is a product highlight. And what I thought I would do is, I haven't made one of these for my business, but I made one for a colleague of mine a while back, and I just thought I would show it here. And so this is Finelli's Pizzeria in Ellsworth, Maine. So if you're at Ellsworth adjacent, go check them out. Here it is. Right. So, if you're getting pizza, right, the great debate is, do you get the red sauce or the white sauce, right? So that was a short video that showed some of their white sauced pizzas and some of their red sauced pizzas and kind of maybe piqued your interest, maybe made you a little hungry. And then you saw a good example of the outro, which is, this is the place, call them, order your pizza. Like it was very clear what you were sort of supposed to do after that. But you can do that with any of your products or services. Your products and services have benefits or they, help people avoid problems or whatever. And there's nothing wrong with highlighting them in a punchy little way. This video was created with promo.com. Shout out to Zach Miller, who's doing our upcoming podcasting workshop, who told me about the software like a while back. But yeah, and they have a little intro. All of these, by the way, have at least an intro free trial before they get into a paid service. So if you want to check any of them out, it's a good way to do it for a couple of weeks. Try them out, that sort of thing. And all right. Hey, oh, got a friend watching, Chris Keegan. Good morning, Chris. Thanks for watching. So yeah, so that's like I said, you can highlight a product or service. Again, people will watch videos on things that they will not read stuff about. So make a video. Instagram's going to prioritize it. Others as well. So the other short form video I like is I call it an information nugget. By the way, these are all like made up terms. I was just trying to classify these videos, so I made up some terms to describe them. So I have an example of one that I did a while back. It was one of my first posts on TikTok, telling people how to get more Google reviews for visibility for their business. So here it is. One free way to make your business more visible in Google is to get at least 5 Google reviews. So search for your business name, including location, so that you get the right listing, and then click on the map pin that's going to show up. Once that opens up, you're going to click on the more details, and once it opens up, click on the 3 dots in the upper right corner and share, and open it up in your Gmail account. Now, if you invite at least 10 friends who already have Gmail addresses, they don't have to make an account or anything to leave you a review. All they have to do is click on the link included in the email to leave you a review. But it's nice to include a little note as to why you want them to do that, so that at least 5 of them will do it. Now you can take all that good karma you've gotten and return it by searching your own small businesses that you like and leaving them nice Google reviews with lots of details so the algorithm knows that you're a real person. To get more marketing tips, just follow me on TikTok or on Instagram. So yeah, so that was my first time I did that. I edited it on an app on my phone called InShot. And yeah, and it was able to, do screen flows and add text and things like that. And TikTok let me add that music to the background. Instagram lets you add music as well. Be careful with how things are sourced. My dog is going to go crazy. 1 second. Gotta love working from mom's house. Fort Kent, if you get a co-working space, let me know. I'll be your first customer. So yeah, information nuggets are great ways to share like your bit of expertise. If you're a coffee shop, so you're a coffee roaster. So Chris has Coffee Hound, which is the coffee we carry at our Anchor Space locations. It's delicious. So Chris could show us how to make a good cup of coffee at home. Maybe there's like some tips and tricks he's learned. I'm someone who's an expert coffee roaster about how to make coffee a little bit better. We all kind of know things. And what's nice about the information nugget is you feel like you learned something. You feel like you've sort of gotten to know the person a little bit, and it kind of intrigues you and makes you want to follow them. So think about what you know a little bit about and think about how you can, put that information out onto the internet in a little nugget. Now, it's interesting about, I think Reels really limits, hold on. Instagram Reels, I think the length is 15 seconds. You can tell I'm not on Instagram as much as I am on TikTok. And TikTok has up to 60-second videos, although I just got approved for 3-minute videos. I feel very important. But point being is that, it has to be a little nugget if you're going to share it. But if you can express things succinctly, that's a really good way to do a short form video. And the final kind of short form video format I'm going to talk about today, like I said, I'll have 5 more templates ready to go next week, is the reaction video. This is unique to TikTok, but also we've seen, YouTube videos will, YouTube channels have kind of reaction style videos where they'll take a piece of content that someone else put out and they'll react to it. How do you do that in the short form? Well, on TikTok, there's a format called a stitch. By the way, if you want to know more about TikTok, scroll back. I think back in February, I did a 2-part series on TikTok, but just for your information, there is a thing called a stitch, which is where you can take a up to 5-second snippet of someone's video and react to it. So basically it takes their little 5 seconds at the beginning, and then you react to it at the end with whatever time is left. If you're going a 60-second video, you have, and you take the 5 seconds, you got 55 seconds to react after. So this is one I did for a business that, we all make mistakes in business, and you'll see what this is pretty quickly. This is a reaction video I did. I did it as a 2-part series to get all the information in, but this is just part one to give you an idea of what this format's like.
Business on a loan, but how do I tell my lenders I have no sales?
First of all, we all make mistakes, and second of all, you sharing this will prevent someone else from doing the same. But let's triage, shall we? First of all, I want you to look at Jetpack and see how much traffic your website is getting. The average cart converts at between 1 and 2%. So if you're only getting like 10 or 20 hits a day, obviously you're not going to get the numbers you need, because you need to drive at least 100 people to your website before one person is going to buy. So we need to drive traffic in quickly. I'm guessing ads are not in the budget, which is totally fine. What I did is I started a weekly blog with very specific content I'd never seen anywhere else that appealed to my customers. I took that blog post, I put it on Pinterest, I shared it on Facebook to multiple Facebook groups. I put it anywhere that I possibly could. I put it on my Google business profile, and started driving traffic with that. With that, I started an email list because people wanted to get the blog post regularly. And one of my blogs still drives 20% of my traffic. Part 2 coming.
So yeah, like, I mean, obviously you don't have to give people advice, but you can just, you can commiserate with them. You can say, okay, this person had a really good point. I wanted to add this other perspective to it. What I like about, I guess, video content generally, it's part of why streaming is kind of a little bit weird to me still, is like, I like the back and forth. I like blogging. I like putting a piece of writing out there and getting comments and ideas from other people. I like the back and forth. And the sort of reaction videos that we're seeing on TikTok, the stitches, as the stitch videos, I think probably we're going to start seeing that on other platforms as well. It feels more like in a conversation a little bit, because you are sort of speaking to that person, if slightly indirectly. So there's plenty of stuff obviously to react to on the internet. You don't have to react negatively. I guess that's the other reason I wanted to show that example, is I wasn't I don't think, there's no reason to be mean to anyone. There's nothing wrong, by the way, with critiquing what someone is doing or saying. There's a way to do that without being mean, I think. But there's also a way to sort of have a reaction video without it being over the top, I think. So that's another short form video format that you can use. So that's what I got. So 5 formats this week. There'll be 5 more formats next week. So think about using short form video in your business. It doesn't have to be super difficult to do. There's lots of great apps on your phone. Like I said, I really like InShot to edit video on my phone. If you're more of an online person, so there was a few tools we talked about today: lumen5.com, promo.com. I use also wevideo.com a lot to edit videos. So there's a lot of online tools that aren't specific to a specific device or computer that you can use to make these short form videos. And a lot of them have templates. A lot of them have really good documentation of how to use them. So yeah, it doesn't have to be this intimidating thing. And people are not expecting you to be a full-fledged television studio. Actually, I think they'd prefer it if you weren't. Feels more authentic. And also probably it's going to take a lot less time to film. So yeah, that's all I got for you today. Again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you want to connect with me, I'm on the different platforms that are listed here. I'm on some other ones as well, but those are some good places to find me, as well as on our website, breakingeveninc.com. Again, I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for watching. Consider short form video. If you do want to tag me in it so I can see it, that'd be awesome. And I will see you next week for part 2 of short form videos you can use for your small business. All right, take care. Have a good one, everyone.